Have you been listening to this show for a while? Do you like this show? Do you want to see it continue? There's one way you can do that. You can actually visit our Patreon page and donate some money to make sure the show continues. That's the only way we fund the show, the only way we make it happen. Go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns, find out bonus stuff you can get for supporting us, and make sure the show keeps on trucking.
Can't wait to play that. Get on that.
So
get
good.
on that quill get on that moss if you can get on that moss.
Yeah.
This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens. Well, the Olympics wrapped up last week.
Yeah.
Just some amazing competitions. So I hear. I mostly just watched figure skating.
Did you watch some figure
I
skating?
watched a lot of figure skating. Figure skating is dope. And
Yeah.
you know what, Jeff? Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you're gonna care about it again in 4 years.
Where's that 5? I see that 4.
Oh, you want that
I see
5?
that. I see that quad lutz.
Give me that 5.
Where's that 5 though?
Yeah, quintuple lutz.
Now I understand that the first triple lutz was like, I don't know. I think the first double was like in the 60s. The first triple was in the 80s.
Yeah.
The first quad I think was 8 years ago.
Let's get on that 5.
Where's that 5 though?
It's TikTok. TikTok.
It's the march of time, baby. I've seen so many 4s now.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you this.
Yawn, 4, yawn.
Because the 4 is so expected,
Hmm.
we saw more figure skating fuck-ups than we usually do.
Yeah.
Right? Because it was all these people
Going
pushing
for the
to
4.
the limit because they knew they had to because
Yeah.
somebody else was going to.
Yeah.
And so it forced everybody else to catch up. And that's kind of one of the most amazing things about the Olympics is like this. Everybody pushes everybody further, and all of a sudden you're seeing the limits of what human beings can do.
I'm reminded of motocross and like the guy who first did a backflip on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And they were like, don't do that. You'll fucking kill yourself. That thing weighs 500 pounds if it lands on you. And then he did it. And now it's like, oh, everybody does a backflip.
That's like trick number 1.
And now you have to do a backflip and then like leave the seats and like hang off of it.
Yeah.
And, like what else are you,
you gotta
doing
wave,
with that
you gotta
backflip?
knit up there.
Yeah.
You gotta come down with a tiny like scarf.
Ugh.
But that's the thing is like all of these competitions, the Olympics, they're made to show the extent of human precision.
Yeah. The
what
height
if-
of what we can achieve.
But what if, Jeff,
Yeah.
you didn't have to do any of that shit? What if
I actually, I don't. I
what
just
if,
sit here.
What if you could go to the Olympics
Oh.
and compete and just not fucking be good at anything?
Is that a thing?
That is a thing. It was a thing that happened in the women's downhill ski. Or the women's freestyle ski. Can I tell you about a woman named Elizabeth Swaney?
Please.
Elizabeth Swaney, you may have seen her. She was a Hungarian skier.
Uh-huh.
Basically just took her sweet time and just skied the way I would have skied right down that half pipe.
Oh, that's nice.
Just like real slow loping back
just
and
happy
forth.
to be here.
Just literally, Jeff, Elizabeth Swaney is the personification of just happy to be here.
That's great.
And let me tell you why. Elizabeth Swaney is not a trained skier. Elizabeth Swaney is
She just wandered onto the course?
She is not an Olympic competitor,
Oh, no.
except that she is. And do you want to know why she is?
Please.
This freestyle skiing event actually is the least competed in event for women in the Olympics.
Oh, they just needed warm bodies.
Basically, that's what happened. In order
Can
to
you
do this,
ski? Are you willing to go into this half pipe?
you basically have to be one of the top 30 like competitive freestyle skiers in the world, right?
Mhm.
Turns out they don't really have
There's like
30,
20,
more than
25 of them.
They actually don't have enough. So Elizabeth Swaney was like, look, I want to be in the Olympics. Who doesn't?
Right.
How do I get into the Olympics?
Forever she'll say, I competed in the Olympics.
Hi, I'm an Olympic skier.
Yeah.
Elizabeth
Here's a
Swaney.
picture of me at the fucking Olympics.
Yeah, you
in
may
Korea.
remember me from the Olympics. So what she did was she did a bunch of research. She looked at these sports and she was like, well, what am I going to get into? Is there a way to min-max and research my way into the Olympics? there are a couple things that that made her a little bit luckier than others. So first of all, she looked at the USA team. Hey, listen. I know we have a lot of international listeners, but fucking USA, USA. Very hard to just wander onto a US Olympic team of any kind.
Yeah.
We're kind of serious.
It's a little competitive.
We're very competitive.
Yeah.
And we put a lot of money into our Olympic teams. Kids start training very early. There was nowhere for Elizabeth to go.
Right.
But her mother is Venezuelan.
Oh.
So she goes, all right, let's take a look at Venezuela. Venezuela, skiing, Venezuela, Jamaican bobsled team.
Right.
Maybe this is a thing.
Seems like it could happen.
Yeah. Maybe I'm the star of Cool Runnings too.
Right. Yeah. Cool skiing.
Turns out no. Venezuela's team was actually too strong for her.
Wow. Venezuela, bring in the downhill skiers.
So she looks, and her grandparents are from Hungary.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, my grandparents are from Hungary. What if I was a Hungarian skier? What are the rules around that?
What if I was a Hungarian skier?
Turns out,
maybe I am already.
Grandparent rule.
If you have a grandparent from a country, I can be an Italian Olympian.
Well, it's like, okay, so my grandparents are Italian. So I could petition for Italian citizenship.
Oh, I see. So you have to become a citizen first, and then you'll represent that country.
So she looked at those rules and she was like, well, my grandparents are Hungarian because of this sort of generational rule. I could compete for Hungary.
This is amazing.
So she went and she found out, oh, here are the weaknesses in the Hungarian Olympic teams. Turns out I'm a skier.
Okay. My question is this awesome, or is this the most cynical thing you can imagine?
Yes and yes. Because here's what's up. I think people imagine the Olympics as what we sort of have been alluding to, which is
best of the best. The
best of the best. You're born, and at 4 years old, you somehow get on a pair of skis, and some coach goes, oh, this kid actually has the will and the drive and a little bit of talent. Let's
celebration
make this
of
happen.
excellence. It's got to be the best of the best and compete from all over the world. Countries, bring us your best and your brightest, and they will compete in a fair expression of which country reigns supreme.
But hey, man, let me tell you something. I got very far in the 3rd grade spelling bee, and it's not because I am a supernatural speller. It's because nobody wanted to be in the fucking spelling bee.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got up there.
Right. You filled a niche.
And I did very well.
Couldn't spell a niche.
I couldn't spell a niche, but I didn't need to. We're talking like dog, cat level spelling.
Right.
And I mean not the words.
Right,
I mean the animals.
How the animals can spell.
It was me and a bunch of fucking animals. Please remember I'm from Central Florida.
It sucked though that you came in second because the last word was bark, and that's just not cool.
That's not cool.
Not fair.
And you wouldn't think a dog would be able to spell that any easier. Turns out, very smart dog. So, and the dog found it condescending. So yeah, this is an example of I've gotten jobs in my life because I was just sort of like, there was a cool place and they were really shorthanded and I got a cool job.
Yeah.
Like this happens.
Right.
And it's all about being aware. There are entire people who have written books
as opposed to half people
and build. There are like halflings that have written books.
There are. Yeah. To there and back again.
Yeah. There and back again. Hobbit's Tale. So there are people who have built entire careers around and written books around, hey, right place, right time, do your research, right? You think about like Tim Ferriss.
Sure.
Tim Ferriss is one of these guys who's just like, I'm the number one I have a tango championship in Argentina.
Right.
Why do I have it? Because nobody competes in the tango.
Right.
So I did 6 months of tango lessons and won.
Yeah.
It's this
Are those
thing of
people
like,
that research world records and find a category that is not really, no one cares about? I'm like, oh, I can be in the Guinness Book of World Records because I did a thing that no one else cares to even try.
I have a world record.
Do you?
Yeah, I hold a world record. This is legitimate. You can go to the record setter database.
Does seem like you're setting up a bit.
But this is legitimate. Spat in the face by the most angry women.
Wow.
In 1 minute.
Wow. And you didn't even intend to set that record. You
know.
just said some shit.
I was just very rude at a restaurant one day.
And it happened to be a Guinness person there. And they're like, that seems like a record.
Some guy in a yellow coat came over and was like, Hello. I'm Sebastian Guinness. And what I just saw blew me away.
Oh my goodness.
This is a record setter is basically like an organization that helps people set world records. And what you do is you come up with an idea for a record that clearly no one has ever thought of.
Right.
So that's what I did. And so we went and we set up a stage. There's a video of this on the internet. We set up a stage. I sat up a fancy dinner table and I literally had women from the audience of the record setter event come up, line up. They would sit down. I would say something horrible to them. They would spit in my face from a glass of water that we had ready.
Did you have to say something horrible in order to make it legit?
Sometimes it was just silly or dumb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the idea is like, here's this terrible person setting a world record.
How many spits in the face?
I believe it was 10.
Oh, that's not.
I was averaging
that's
one every
beatable.
6 seconds. You could beat it.
That's beatable.
You could beat it.
If someone's out there listening, take Anthony down.
Yeah. I mean, this is also like Record Setter does a lot of stuff like this where they'll help you figure out what the twist is to get your world record. So like my friend has the world record for most tacos thrown at them while performing like a song on acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Dressed like a banana.
Getting real granular.
Yeah. But is there anything wrong with that? Here's somebody who desperately wanted to be in the Olympics, who said to themselves, this is kind of a dream. I would love to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to set out to make this happen. It's not the same story as somebody who trained their whole lives. But remember, she's not going to be remembered as an amazing Olympian.
Right.
She's going to be remembered as the person
Olympian
who wanted to brute force their way into the Olympics because they wanted to be there and they made that dream happen.
Well, here's where I would find it objectionable. If her being there means someone else can't be there, if a qualified applicant from another country that gets bumped out because we need a Hungarian representative and Hungary puts up this person.
But Hungary gets to send a representative no matter what. Nobody gets bumped out.
I guess that's true.
Right? You know who gets bumped out? I'll tell you who gets bumped out. Somebody in Hungary who trained their whole lives and was not as good as this woman who put on skis randomly on a whim.
Yeah.
If you are that woman from Hungary, I am so sorry. I am so sorry that you dedicated your life to this thing.
But get good.
And just, you weren't good. And here's what I'm sorry about. I'm sorry that there was no one in your life that like looked at you during any point in your journey and was like, hey, maybe something else. Maybe spend your life doing something different.
But I dream of skiing.
Sure. And let me tell you something. You're probably going to get there because we don't have a lot of people here that do what you do.
Yeah.
You're going to get there though.
Sorry.
You're not
fell down again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not even on skis yet.
No, I know. But is it wobbly in here or is it just me?
Yeah, it's probably wobbly in here. So
it feels real wobbly in here.
Yeah, it's definitely wobbly here on the concrete floor of this gymnasium. You're going to get to the Olympics and you're going to get eliminated immediately. And you're going to have to come back here and you're going to have a job. And you haven't been going to school or anything. You've been doing this Olympic training.
I want to do a ski. I believe in myself. That's what I heard. Oh, sorry. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's just that's a particularly wobbly area.
Yeah, I got to stand on something more solid than the ground.
Here's what's crazy is like
you know what would be great? A mountain.
You know what would be super great is you not doing this. There, I said it.
Oh.
Could you not do this? I don't know what else we could have you do because clearly, I mean, you're not going to be waiting tables or anything, and you haven't been to school your entire life.
No.
You know what? Why not? Let's send you the Olympics.
Oh, yay!
Hey, wait a minute. Who's that?
Hey, everybody! I just decided to ski.
Hey, oh, wow! She made it down in 22 minutes. That's a very long time, but it's still shorter than your time.
She made it to the bottom. I've never yet made it to the bottom.
No.
But the top is so much better.
That's not, I mean, metaphorically, yes.
Don't you want to get to the top?
Metaphorically, you want to get to the top.
That's what everybody always said.
But
get to the top.
Practically, in your event, you want to be at the bottom.
I don't want to be at the bottom. I like at the top.
Okay.
It's less wobbly at the top.
We're going to send this American chick.
I don't know how I feel about this because I
feel great about it.
I think basically it's shrewd.
Yeah.
And it's clever.
Yeah.
But the whole concept of min-maxing, to me, it feels so cynical and it feels like it steals the fun and joy of life. No, okay.
Look.
I mean, that is a retort.
Yeah, here's my retort. A boo-hoo. Wait. But seriously, let me state back what I think you're trying to say, just so I know that I'm really wrapping my head around it.
Yeah. No, I did not consider that argument.
I'm a big baby.
That's very
That's
astute.
you. That's what you sound like.
No, I think that honestly,
if what you were saying, if somebody who genuinely trained and wanted to be in the Olympics was booted out because this person rented a pair of skis and was like, bye, that would be one thing. But nobody's getting forced out.
No, you're right.
This is clearly Hungary was not training anyone for this event. Like clearly,
yeah,
this was not an event. They were like, we can only train and focus on so many events, right? A lot of countries do this where they're like, okay, our country will compete in these 5 events.
Right.
And these are the events that we're very good at. And we have the budget and the focus and the time to create athletes who are good at this. Hungary looked at everything and they were like, we ain't got somebody for this. You want in?
Okay, but wait. So
we'll send you.
What about just the concept that a person who clearly has no allegiance to Hungary is representing them in the Olympics? Isn't that sort of disingenuous?
Well, that's for Hungary to decide. And Hungary decided it was fine.
Yeah, but from your perspective.
From my perspective?
For ethically, like, do you think that's sort of not in the spirit of what the Olympics is meant to be? Somebody that clearly has never lived in Hungary.
Hey, but if her grandparents are Hungarian, she's probably visited.
Maybe.
She probably has if you're going to Hungary, you probably email Elizabeth and you're like, hey, going to Hungary, is there anything I should see? And she's like, oh yeah, like this, and this, and like maybe she looks at Wikipedia for it, but like there's one restaurant that she does really like. She's like the Hungary person. Like when you're going to Hungary, you ask Elizabeth, right? Yeah. And if she's had to put up with that much psychic labor her whole life about it, maybe she gets to ski in the Olympics.
Everybody that's going to visit Hungary is like, oh, you got to talk to Elizabeth. She's
and those
amazing.
emails are not going to slow down now that she's the Hungarian downhill skier.
If anything, they're going to speed
now
right
everybody's
the fuck
going to
up.
be like, oh, where should I go in Hungary? And then she's going to have to get a little embarrassed. Like, I actually haven't seen much of Hungary.
Also, downhill ski tips. Because you are a fucking Olympian in downhill skiing. So what bindings do I need?
Elizabeth, if you're out there, if anybody out there knows Elizabeth, I just want to high five Elizabeth so hard. Congratulations,
she really did it. She really did it.
Do you know what's going to happen is that in the next Olympics is there are going to be a lot of people who are trying to do this now.
You think?
And they're going to find that there aren't spaces like they think there are.
She's going to start a trend.
This is one of those things where much like Tim Ferriss, who's like, hey, here's how I created a passive income that blah, 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 blah. Like it works for one person once.
Right.
And then everybody else is chasing that dream. She was the one who came up with it.
Yeah.
And that you should get something for that.
I mean, she got to go to the Olympics. That's what she fucking got.
But I mean, a little bit of respect. She is the person from you, Jeff Canada.
I don't know.
Respect from you. She's the person who figured out that she could do it.
She worked the system.
Nobody
she found the loophole.
Is going to keep me out of the fucking Olympics if I want to be in the Olympics. You know what you are?
I don't respect
quitter. You look at the Olympics and you say, I'm Jeff Canada and I'd love to be in the Olympics. But oh man, I can't do it.
It's a lifetime of work instead of
fucking
just
figured it
15 minutes of Googling and a few papers
she had to do the qualifiers.
Yeah.
And she did, Jeff. And she's an Olympian. And what are you?
She basically
a guy who's
she just
Olympian.
got down the hill is what happened. Yeah.
Sometimes in life, baby, you just got to get down the hill.
You just got to get down the hill.
That's a lesson that you could learn, Jeff Canada.
Yeah.
What do you all think about this? Do you side with me or are you wrong?
I think
this is how you get into the Olympics with this kind of attitude.
There's something unethical about this.
I don't think there is.
A little bit.
There's nothing in the rules that says a dog can't play basketball.
I don't respect the person who finds the loophole, the loopholer.
What a baby. Let us know how you feel about this on Twitter. I'm at A Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And you can hashtag those AirBud. And hey, do you wear clothes?
Oh, I love wearing clothes. It's the greatest. It keeps me warm. It's stuff that food will fall onto instead of my skin.
I get thrown out of 94% fewer places now that I wear shirts and pants.
Yeah.
And if you want to do the same and maybe you want to show your allegiance to this very show as you do so, head to wehaveconcerns.com/shop and buy things.
Buy it all.
So we can live.
That's our loophole.
To compete in the Olympics.